so far we have studied a lot concepts related to creating SQL databases, inserting certain data with the help of SQL languages which we have studied. Now let's understand a common transaction related property which is very important to be known in the real world scenario as well. So what is that transaction related property and how it is helpful in terms of managing the transactions which are happening into the real world as well as within the databases. So that property is known as asset property. But let's first understand what is transaction and how this property is helpful for us in terms of gaining more insights about the same. So if you can see on my screen, now when I ask you what is transaction according to you, so you all will have a simplistic definition of what is transaction. So transactions, just a second. So what is a transaction for you? So transaction is money debited from one account so when the money is debited from one account and credited to another, is known as transaction. Or let's say, in simple terms, if I want to talk upon transaction, money being debited from one account and credited to another. That's the meaning of transaction which we know. So when we are transferring money from one account to another, when we say that it was a successful transaction, when it was being debited and it is being credited simultaneously. Now, with this transaction was the real world scenario of this transaction. But what is the meaning of transaction in the field of databases? So, as I have said and I discussed, transaction for database is nothing but all the DML statements which are happening. So, transactions for databases are nothing but the changes which are happening with the DML statements. Now, what are those changes which are happening with the DML statements? They are nothing but inserting the data, they are nothing but updating the data, and they are nothing but deleting the data or deleting the records which are there. So that is the transaction which is happening into the database field. Now, in this transaction related properties, what is a principle which we all need to know and how we are going to maintain that principle into the real world scenario. So there is a property known as asset properties which is governed for what transactions. Now, what is the synonym of asset over here? A stands for atomicity, C stands for consistency, I stands for isolation. So it's isolation, and D stands for durability. So what does it say? Ki when you're studying about asset properties with respect to transaction, you have to deal with A standing for atomicity, C standing for consistency, I standing for isolation, and D standing for durability. Now let us understand what is the meaning of each word over here with a simplistic example of the transaction which happens and which you all must have seen. Now, if I show you this, so transaction systems in the database has four basic properties which are known as asset properties. These properties play a very crucial understanding with the transaction happening in the databases. They are used to maintain consistency in the database during transaction. Now, what are those properties known as? A standing for atomicity, C standing for consistency, I for isolation, and D for durability. Now, let's talk upon first, that is atomicity. Now, what does atomicity says? Now, there could be n number of definition for atomicity, but if I want to talk upon in simple terms, that what is the meaning of atomicity? Atomicity means either all or none. Atomicity means it will be either all either all the steps in the transaction are completed, or if any one of the step in the transaction is failing, the entire transaction is called as a failed transaction. Let's see how, and let's see what is it helping me to understand over here with respect to atomicity. Imagine that I am going to an ATM machine and I want to take out some money from my bank account. Now, just by going to ATM machine and telling that I want 3,000 or 4,000 from my account, it's not going to give me the money. I have to follow certain steps. First is I'll go to the ATM machine and I'll follow the step, that is step 1. What is the step 1 over here? That first I'll insert my card. So that's the first step. So insert the card. After that, step 2. I selected the option. What I want to do, I'll select the option of withdraw. So select the option. So I selected the option of withdraw. Now step 3, it will ask you from current bank account, so or savings account, whatever it is. So bank account, it will ask. Let's say the step 4 over here is asking me to insert the money, which was there, the amount which I want to remove from my bank. So amount is required, and then I insert a step 5. So after inserting amount, it is asking me the PIN, the ATM PIN, which was there. And once the ATM PIN is there, it will successfully process my account and gives me what? Money over here. So money will be provided after this. So if I want to do this transaction, what I am telling, that I am following all the steps. Let's say the first step which was there, that inserting the card, was successful. Let's say second step, I wanted to select an option of withdraw, was successful. Then I chose a bank account, that's I want to remove it from a current bank account, so done. Amount, I inserted it correctly. Now in the ATM PIN step, I by mistakenly inserted a wrong PIN. So this step was what? A failure. This step was what? Actually a failure, which was there. So can I get the money? The answer would be no. Why? Because you have inserted the wrong PIN. So money is not being given to you. The next step after that is what? Fail. And your transaction is cancelled. Now, when you want to repeat this step, what you have to do? You cannot start it from where it was rejected or from where it was cancelled. You have to go to the first step, which was there. So that is the meaning of what? Atomicity. Atomicity says either all, which means if all the steps are completed successfully, then your transaction is said to be a successful transaction. Either none. What is the meaning of none? Which means if any of the step fails, the entire transaction is known as a failed transactions, which was there. And if you want to start it again, you have to roll back or go to the first step. So if I enter a wrong PIN, the ATM machine will say wrong PIN entered, cannot do it, and it will release my card. So if I want to remove the amount again, I just have to repeat the steps again and again. That is the meaning of atomicity in simple terms. That is the meaning of either all or none. So if all the steps are successfully completed, let's say, if now when I roll back the process, it has completed, I entered a correct PIN now, and money was being given. So money has been debited, and that's when I will say that it was what? A successful transaction. A successful transaction was there, and this transaction entry will be inserted into my database or into the bank account which is there. So whenever I go and print my statements, I'll get this transaction printed over there, because this was one successful transaction where all the steps of the transaction were successfully completed. This is the meaning of what? Atomicity, which was there. So A in atomicity stands for this. The entire transaction, if I talk upon this, so the entire transaction takes place at once or doesn't happen at all. As I've said, that either all or none. The entire transaction takes place at once or doesn't happen at all. The transaction cannot perform partially, which means you cannot say your half transaction is done and half is pending. No, there is no partial transaction process is going to happen. For other users, the transaction is only visible when it is completed. Let's say I am sending money to another individual, let's say you. So it will be visible to you only when it is being successfully transferred to your account by deducting it from my account. So for an example, if I show A wants to transfer, so imagine A is me and B is you. So A wants to transfer money, that is 500, to B, and they want it to be called as a transaction. Atomicity guarantees that. Now Atomicity tells me that A balance would be deducted by 500. Let's say I had 3000 as a balance and I want to send it to B. So my balance from 3000 will be minus 500. That is, it will be deducting 500 from that, and B's balance will be credited. The money will be debited from my account and credited to yours. So B's account, let's say you have 10,000 into your account plus 500, it will make 10,500. So credited by 500. So both this credit and debit happens in a single step. That is, it is being credited from one account and debited. It has been debited from an account and credited to another. So this credit and debit is both happening and it's a single complete process. Just imagine the chaos. Now imagine if this was not a case, if the transaction would have partially done, where the money has been deducted from my account but didn't credit to yours. So it was not an atomic nature, it was not an atomic transaction. Or let's say it got credited to your account but it was never being debited from my account. There will be a chaotic situation which was going on, and that's why transaction management system wants the property of atomicity to be maintained. So just imagine the chaos if it was not atomic. That is, A's money got deducted, my account got deducted with the amount, and the transaction failed. Then it is called as a failed transaction. And B though never got this transaction or never got the money being given. And that's the meaning of what atomicity. And atomicity is very important. So if you want to in short explain what is atomicity, it is right either all or none, which means either all the steps are successfully completed. If any one of the step fails, the entire transaction is called as a failed transaction. That was all about atomicity. Now it's not only that atomicity should be maintained, there is something which is also important with respect to atomicity to be maintained is nothing but consistency. Now you must be knowing what is consistency. Consistency is same throughout or consistent enough. I can call that this transaction was consistent, means considerable, or same throughout, which was required to be there. So let's understand what is consistency. So when I talk upon the next element, which is nothing but consistency, the database element before. So the database element before and after transaction must be same. So that's what they are saying. Before and after transaction, it must be same. Now what is the example over here? Imagine that A is me, B is you, and my account has 10,000 rupees. So I have 10,000 rupees over here. B has 3,000 rupees. That is, you have 3,000 rupees into your account. Now I say I want to transfer 500 to you. So 500 to you. So from my account it will be debited, and my account transaction or the final account balance would be 9,500. And at your account it is what? it is credited. So I get this. What is the value? Let's say 3,500. Fine. So before transaction, if I take the account balance of A and account balance of B and sum up, 10,000 plus 3,000 is nothing but 13,000. So this was before. Before, what is the balance amount at both the end? It's 13,000. Now after having transaction, my account has been debited with 500, so it is 9,500 left, and it has been credited successfully, so it was 3,500 based on the atomicity. So what was the after transaction sum up value? In both the bank accounts, it was 9,500, 3,500, nothing but 13,000. So before transaction and after transaction, was the sum of the database amounts same? Yes. So the element before and after transaction was same, which means the database was consistent in this transaction. But imagine for a fact that you all must have heard this, that it was debited from my account but never got credited to yours. Money has been deducted, but the bank gives a message, if it has been deducted, then due to bank issues, it will be credited to your account in certain days or certain span of time. So you all have seen. So imagine that when I was transferring 500 to you, 500 got deducted, that is debited from my account, but it was never credited to your account. And what is your account balance? Still 3,000. So 10,000 plus 3,000 is 13,000. Now what is account balance? 9,500 and 3,000. Over here is nothing but 12,500. What it was? 12,500. So if I say the transaction amount before and after is not same, getting it? So the transaction amount before and after is not same. If I get something like this, the transaction is called as not consistent. The transaction is termed to be what? Not consistent enough. And this kind of transaction are actually very dangerous into the real world scenario. And that's why banks have an assurance property that if this kind of transaction is happening within the database, we will make sure that it is going to the atomic level and this consistency would be maintained, which means if it is deducting 500 but never credited, it will roll back that 500 to your account again, and the consistency would be maintained in certain span of days. And you all must have seen, if I transfer some amount to someone else and if it is being debited from your account but it never got credited to that person account, so it gives a message, if the money is being deducted, it will be rolled back to you in 3 to 5 business working days and so on. So they try to make that system what? Consistent over here. That is the meaning of what? Consistency. So I hope it's clear. So if I talk upon consistency, the database must be consistent before and after the transaction. This property is satisfied when each transaction moves the database from a consistent state to another consistent state. Now, using the sample example as below, as I said, I want to transfer 500. So, if before transaction A's balance was 1,000. So, A had what? Balance as 1,000. Let me write it over here. A has balance as 1,000. And B's balance was 2,000. After transaction, A's balance is rupees 500. After transaction of rupees 500, we expect A's balance. Now the transaction of 500 happened. So we expect A's balance to be how much? 500 rupees. And B's balance to be what? 2,500. If we think about it, both the states are valid, which is correct. It must not happen that A's balance got updated, which means from A's account 500 got debited and it gave me 500. But B's balance is other than 2,500, which means it's not 2500 which was expected to be there. So here the sum of their balance can be thought of as a state and it should remain consistent before and after transaction, and it was not. If it was debited but it was never credited, so it will be only 2000, and that's not a consistent state, and that is what your transaction management system will help me to check and look out over here, and then based on that it will try to make it what consistent over here. So consistency within the transaction is very important to be maintained when the transactions are happening either in the real world or in the database scenario. Now database scenario, if it was updated from one account and it was never updated or it was never being made any changes into another table, it would cause a discrepancy, and we have seen into the integrity part with respect to that cascade. That is, if it was deducted from one account or one table, the same value if it is found in another table was also being deducted. So the consistency within the databases was maintained. And that's the reason why consistency is ideally a very important point, not only with respect to the transaction world, but also with respect to the databases which are there. So the second property of the asset properties related to transaction was consistency, and I hope it's clear. Now, let's look out the third property which is there. Now, what is the third property you all must be seeing? The third property, the I in asset, stands for isolation. Now you all must be knowing an isolated system. What is the meaning of isolation? Now you all must have been through isolation during the corona phase. Now what is the meaning of isolation? Isolation is closed. No one is coming intact over there. No multiple peoples are coming in contact over here. Now what is the meaning of isolations in terms of transaction? Isolation means a closed system or a closed element. Now imagine that A is transferring amount to what? B. And there is also a person known as C. So when I am transferring A and B, this process of transaction is a closed transaction, where C cannot be a part of this transaction unless and until it was being added. But C as an individual cannot be a part of transaction over here. Why? Because it is happening between A and B. C has no relation into the transaction. So if I am transferring 500 from A, so I am deducting 500 from A and adding 500 to B. It is going to be added to B. It is not going to add it to C because C was never a part of transaction, and that isolation is called and kept over here within the multiple transactions happen at the same time at the same instances. Now you all must be hearing of cross connections when you contact or call to individuals. That cross connections are not being made if I want to talk upon and discuss the same thing in simple terms. So isolation means when the transaction is happening, it's a closed transaction. No other person can be a part of the transaction unless and until it has been involved over there. So when I talk upon isolation, multiple transactions occur independently without interference. Means A and B transaction is happening, that's an independent transaction. No other person is coming into and being a part of it. Multiple transactions occur independently without interference. To take an example, we say two concurrent transaction. Means concurrent means at the same time. A is transferring money to B and A is transferring money to C. Transfer 500 each. There can be multiple scenarios where concurrency might cause problem. That is, T1, A's balance as 1000 and also meanwhile T2, A's balance as 1000. Both deducted 500 to send B and C respectively. This causes problem. So now both will be updated. Both will update A's balance as 500. But since A's balance has now 500, it contradicts consistency, as A is expected to have how much? 0 when both the transactions were maintained. If I have A is equals to 1000, B is equals to 2000, and C, there is nothing. So if A is deducting account and giving it to B, So that's correct. Now A's balance is 500 in transaction 1. If in transaction 2 also A's balance after giving it to C is also 500, then it contradicts the property of consistency. So what I should say is, when A is transferring amount to B and C, it had 1000. So at the same time it can send to B and it can send to C, and it will be deducted by 500 and by 500 and making this as 0. So two transactions are happening, and both the transactions are two different systems which are being happening. They are not happening together. They are not happening with each other. It is going to be between A and C and A and D. B and C will not be initiated anywhere in a cross transaction over here. So what is isolation in simple terms? Isolation is when transactions are happening independently without any interference. So it's a closed transaction which is happening. So we have several isolation level depending on how strict we want this to be, and those are the main focus on this. So when I talk upon isolation, this was isolation. Now the next property which we have is nothing but the last property known as durability. Now you all must be knowing durability. What is the meaning of durability? Long lasting. The meaning of durability is long lasting, which means if the transactions are happening, the transaction was atomic, it was consistent, and it was maintaining the property of isolation, that means the transaction has been saved. So imagine I did this transaction from my phone, or did this transaction through an ATM card, and I lost my ATM card. So when I lost my ATM card, it doesn't mean that my transactions are also lost. No. Somewhere or the other in the databases, those transactions would be stored. Imagine that today I want to go to bank and understand the statement for last 3 years of my transaction, or last 2 years of my transaction. Will I be able to do it? The answer would be yes, because bank has stored my details related to the transaction, which means whatever transaction have happened, they are durable, long lasting, and those transactions are being stored into the databases. So when I talk upon durability over here, after transaction completes successfully, the changes it has made on the database persist, means maintains, even if there are system failures. So even the system fails, my transaction is a complete transaction and I can see that in the database. A had 1000 and it transferred 500 to B. Now every next time we query A, means after, as A had 1000, it transferred what? 500 to B. So now A's balance is what? 500. So every time when I call A now and see the transaction, it is going to show me what? 500. That is the latest value after the transaction was completed. So what this transaction happened over here has been stored. So this transaction has been what? Stored. And that's why now the new transaction which will happen with A will have a balance of what? 500 instead of now having it as 1000. So now every time we query A's balance, we should get the latest value and must not lose this details. So, and I don't want whatever transactions happened, how the money was transferred, I don't want to lose this details, and for that it will be kept somewhere or the other into the database history of that particular bank or any of the system, so that I can get it back whenever it was required. And that is the meaning of durability, which means long lasting. All the transactions are long lasting and they will be maintained within a database. So if I want to talk in short related to the properties which we have studied, as I said, transaction is something which is a real world scenario, and it's very important. And money transactions are very sensitive topic, and that needs to be maintained effectively, efficiently, and all the transactions should follow a same rule where discrepancies and irregularities is avoided. And asset properties over here will help us to do. So we have understood what is atomicity, what is consistency, what does an isolation means, and what is the meaning of durability. So this was all about related to our asset properties. I hope we are clear for the same.